I'm sure we can make a deal, and I'm here to help on that. I cannot deal in the name of the European Union.
Hello everyone, welcome to Subscribe to EU Politics, your trusted source for the stories shaping Europe's future. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button now and stay tuned. Because today's story is not just about politics, it's about power, influence, and the quiet transformation happening inside the European Union. At the heart of this transformation stands one woman, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Once dismissed as a far-right nationalist, today she's not just a participant in European politics, she's rewriting its rules. Her rise is a story of strategy, timing, and bold confidence. The kind that's making Brussels rethink everything it thought it knew about power in Europe. Just days ago, Meloni found herself at the centre of a new controversy when a fake video circulated online. It appeared to show her planning a secret trade deal directly with the United States, bypassing the European Union entirely. The video quickly went viral, picked up by social media accounts, even linked to Trump supporters. Within hours, international media jumped on the story. Was Italy going rogue? Was Meloni about to challenge Brussels head-on? Fact-checkers later proved the clip was AI-generated, a complete fabrication. But the real story wasn't the fake video, it was the reaction to it. Because deep down, people believed it might actually be true. That's how strong Meloni's reputation has become. The idea that she could defy the EU no longer feels impossible. And this is where her genius lies. Giorgia Meloni doesn't need to break EU rules. She simply operates at their edge. She challenges Brussels without provoking crisis, and that balance gives her enormous leverage. Her critics call her unpredictable. Her supporters call her fearless. Either way, she's changing the conversation in Europe. This week, as EU leaders prepare for the next council meeting, Meloni's voice is louder than ever. She's calling for revisions to the EU's climate agenda, arguing that while green transformation is necessary, Europe can't commit economic suicide in the name of ideology. We must protect the planet, she said recently, but we must also protect our workers. Her words echo across industries struggling with rising energy costs and environmental taxes.
Estimates say the world population will reach 8.5 billion by 2030, and global GDP will double over the next decade.
On defence and foreign policy, Meloni is stepping up even further. Italy's cooperation with NATO remains firm, but she's pushing for a stronger European defence identity, one that gives Italy a leading role. Her government is already working to ensure Italian defence firms receive priority access to EU innovation funds. It's not just about patriotism, it's about positioning Italy as a serious industrial power within the European framework. Brussels is watching closely. Some officials in the European Commission quietly admit that Meloni has outplayed expectations. She's not the firebrand populist many feared. She's a strategist who knows how to turn EU bureaucracy into a tool. Her transformation from protest politician to pragmatic European leader has been nothing short of remarkable.
Sono Giorgia! Sono una donna! Sono una madre! Sono italiana! Sono cristiana! Non me lo toglierete!
But make no mistake, her core philosophy hasn't changed. She still believes in sovereignty first, nation before bureaucracy. When she speaks in European forums, her message is clear. Cooperation, yes. Subordination, no. And that phrase, repeated often, is becoming a slogan for a new generation of European conservatives. Her approach contrasts sharply with Commission President Ursula von der Leyen's vision of a more integrated Europe. The two women represent opposing schools of thought. One building a centralized EU superpower, the other defending the independence of nations. Yet both understand they need each other. Von der Leyen needs Meloni's political weight to keep Europe united on major votes. Meloni needs Brussels' structure to amplify Italy's influence. Their relationship is a fascinating mix of rivalry and respect, the one that defines today's European politics. Meanwhile, Meloni's domestic approval remains strong. Italians see her as decisive and authentic, qualities that European politics often lacks. When critics attack her, she turns controversy into momentum. When a union leader insulted her by calling her Trump's puppet, she didn't react with anger. She smiled and said, "I'm nobody's puppet, and I answer only to the Italian people." That moment went viral, strengthening her image as a leader who stands tall under fire. Even her stance on migration, once seen as too harsh, is now shaping EU policy. Brussels has quietly adopted many of her proposals, from outsourcing border control to third countries, to negotiating direct deals with African governments. What was once dismissed as nationalist rhetoric has now become official European strategy. That's the Meloni effect. But can this strategy last? That's the question haunting Europe's political elites. Meloni's growing influence could inspire similar movements in France, Austria, and even Germany. If each country starts putting national interest above EU consensus, the delicate balance holding the Union together could begin to shake. Brussels fears fragmentation, but Meloni argues that real unity can only come from respecting national sovereignty. Financially, her government is walking a tightrope, balancing between EU fiscal rules and Italy's domestic spending needs. Yet so far, she's managed to keep markets calm, ratings stable, and Italy's voice respected in every negotiation. It's something few expected when she took office in 2022. As Europe heads toward the 2028 to 2034 financial framework, Meloni's role will be decisive. She's already demanding that member states have greater say over how EU funds are allocated. "Europe cannot treat us like children," she said during a recent speech. "We are partners, not subjects." That line alone went viral, quoted across social media and Italian talk shows as a sign of new political confidence. Every speech, every summit, every controversy, Meloni uses them all to reinforce her narrative. Italy is back, and it will never again be sidelined in Brussels. Her story is reshaping not just European politics, but European psychology. She has shown that a leader can challenge the system and still be part of it. She has proven that populism doesn't have to mean isolation. It can mean negotiation, assertion, and national pride. As Europe stands on the brink of an uncertain future, with economic challenges, migration crises, and political divisions, the question is no longer whether Meloni belongs in the European mainstream. It's whether the European mainstream now belongs to her. And that's why her every move, from climate negotiations to her handshake with von der Leyen, carries weight far beyond Italy. The continent is watching, analysing and reacting. Because when Giorgia Meloni speaks, she doesn't just speak for Italy, she speaks for a growing part of Europe that feels ignored, unheard and ready for change. So, as this story unfolds, one question echoes across the continent. Is Giorgia Meloni redefining Europe's strength or testing its unity? If you enjoyed this deep dive into European power politics, make sure you subscribe to EU Politics right now. We bring you bold, fact-driven stories from Brussels, Rome, Berlin, and beyond, where the future of Europe is being decided every single day. Stay sharp, stay curious, and stay tuned. Only on EU Politics, where power meets perspective.